Leukemia Texas just turned 50. We'll talk about the mission and ministry of this amazing nonprofit next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, if you've watched this show before, you know I love putting a spotlight on nonprofits that are doing amazing things, and Leukemia Texas just turned 50. To talk about that today, Jessica Dunn, she's the executive director. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's very exciting.
Okay, so it's an institution that's been around for 50 years, but there's still people who don't know what you guys do. Would you share with us?
Indeed. So we were started by Buddy Minyard of Buddy, who's Minyard Grocery Stores. And when his wife was diagnosed with leukemia, he realized there weren't any organizations that were truly taking money and helping patients here in Texas. So he wanted to start one to help people like his wife and everybody he was meeting when she was in treatment. So he created Leukemia Texas, and we've been doing that for 50 years. We've been raising money to provide patient aid grants to patients of all ages from 6 months to 89 years old to help them offset their medical costs, travel, treatment, anything that maybe insurance wouldn't cover, but then also providing money to researchers in Texas to help find cures, ways to have better treatment, ways to just help blood cancers and anything that would ultimately lead to a cure, hopefully, for leukemia. So his 2 daughters still sit on our board, and they make sure, that we are still sticking to what Buddy envisioned, 50 years ago, and doing that every day for Texans.
And you brought our little friend with you.
I did. We matched outfits today.
You did. You coordinated that. That's awesome.
We tried.
So tell us about your friend.
Yes. So this is Buddy the Bear, and he's named after Buddy Minyard, who we were just mentioning. And so this was a new initiative that we just started this year with 2020. Everything that came in that year. So many of our patients not only were affected by their diagnosis of cancer, but also loss of job or insurance or ways that they normally would have a support system. It's gone. They couldn't stay where they normally would stay. Travel was a little bit different and unique. And also that people who would normally come in and stay with them and to rotate shifts so they were never alone in the hospital couldn't happen. So we created Buddy so that everyone truly had a buddy in their treatments and in their cancer journey. And so someone can adopt Buddy for $25, and they put their name on a card, and we share it with our patient when we give them their patient aid grant. So they know that somebody in the state of Texas or wherever is supporting them. And so he can squeeze. So when you're getting your treatments, he's there to sleep with you, snuggle. I mean, no matter how old you are, you love a good stuffed animal. And Absolutely. He is the perfect, and he's not too fuzzy. He is perfect. We have tested him. But it is a great way to just have that direct impact with people who need a buddy.
Wow.
Especially during their diagnosis.
Jessica, I think it's a brilliant idea. And you and I first met through the Dallas Business Journal. In fact, we've got a nice clip. You won the DBJ Outstanding Director Award. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So we found a nice clip. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
So talk about what it was like taking over as executive director in June 2020, right in the midst of COVID.
Yeah, so it's exciting. I was already familiar with Leukemia Texas's work. For my previous role as executive director of the Dallas Stars Foundation. So I was familiar with their mission and the great work that they did in Texas. And so when the opportunity came to be able to apply for this position, it was an honor. I had just recently lost my stepfather to cancer. And so I saw what our family went through and what he went through and how sometimes it's a very lonely journey, even when you have a support system around you. And so being able to come on board, knowing that the organization, just like every other organization in small business and business in 2020 was facing challenges, I looked at it as an exciting adventure. We realized that a lot of people want to help, and they don't want to pay the large amounts of money to come sit in a ballroom or to do a golf tournament. They want to find other ways to engage. They want to be able to have a direct impact. And while they were by attending events, we found that they like that hands-on touch. They like that ability for a $25 donation. They know it's going to the hands of someone and immediately touching them through the Buddy the Bear program. but then we also found they want to be engaged more throughout the year. So we created our LTX membership program, which is our LTX buddies. And so that way we can engage them every single year with different events, different opportunities to talk directly with our research doctors, to be able to talk with patients, to be able to learn more about what's going on, and to engage with other organizations that are doing great work across the state of Texas as well. And we really, got this opportunity because we saw the positive in everything that had happened last year, and getting that opportunity to kind of develop what does going forward would look like. We know that even when things return in person, so many people like the opportunity to attend virtually. So being able to blend hybrid events. So we really are just looking and shaping how the times change and adapting it to what works for us and our mission.
Wow, very cool. Tell me about COVID. How did it impact Leukemia Texas?
In so many ways. So I actually joined the team right in the midst of it. So I joined June 2020, so nothing like changing jobs in a pandemic and economic crisis. But the opportunity came, and I knew of Leukemia Texas through previous roles with the Dallas Stars Foundation, and always been in awe of their work. And I recently just lost my stepfather to lung cancer, and so knew what families go through. And no matter how big your support circle is, or who you have there fighting for you, it is something that impacts everyone. So when the opportunity came on board. And the past 50 years, one of the biggest ways that we raised money was through special events. So we would do 4 or 5 large-scale events across the state, and our golf tournament, our Fly for Leukemia, our biggest one is our Beat Leukemia Ball, which takes place in Fort Worth. And so with everything with COVID, that stopped. And so really when that changed everything, I mean, essentially we lost about $750,000 that we would have normally gotten from special events. And so it but we still had the patients and an increase in numbers of people applying for aid because they were also impacted, as we'd mentioned. And so that was kind of, how do we get creative? How do we find new ways to raise awareness for what we're doing? How do we raise awareness of the need that's still out there, that's happening, and how it's increased? And how do we move forward so that way we never have to say no to anyone who needs assistance? So we got creative. We actually just held our first event as a team, as an organization, and our first ever virtual event in May. We did our virtual Beat Leukemia Ball. And so it's very unique, where people are meeting with their friends and dancing to the Fab Four, to now dancing in your living room. But there was no pressure on how you had to dress. You could do it from your pajamas or however you wanted to do it. But it was great because we were able to still do it. But it was unique because we had people from everywhere, from Thailand and Oklahoma, everyone joining. And so now, how do we have these new friends? How do we keep them engaged? How do we get back to doing what we do, but then also staying engaged with all of our new friends and helping, because they all know somebody in Texas. They know someone that was affected by cancer. And so we don't want to lose them. So trying to be creative and unique.
Well, Jessica, you're just so charismatic. You're a bright organization, and the media loves you. We're going to put up on the screen a recent article, Dallas Doing Good. So tell us, what is that like to see yourself up on the big screen right now? Do you ever get used to doing media?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, and it's interesting because for the last 16 years I've been in nonprofit. It was trial by fire how I got into it. Growing up, and still, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I know that I love helping people and love everything that we do with Leukemia Texas. And so it was trial by fire. We had talked earlier. We had met through the Red Cross. I wanted to change the world back in the early 2000s, thought I'd do Peace Corps, and realized you disappear for 2 years, and that wasn't going to happen. And so joined us, placed with a term of service with the Red Cross during Hurricane Katrina, and saw all of the great work that happens. And I've been fortunate through all the organizations I've worked with or volunteered. I see the mission and who they're serving and being able to do that. And so, everything's taken me to this point where, after going through a couple-year battle with my stepfather and his cancer journey, seeing the work, and so seeing the direct impact that Leukemia Texas has, I'm so happy that I can now be that person that brings hope to so many families.
I love it. Jessica, do you get to meet the families that you're helping?
No, I have not. Well, through
Yes.
virtual.
Yeah.
We will, once things kind of calm down and things,
Sure.
But being able to see their stories, to talk to them through Zoom or phones and get pictures of their kids. We actually just got friendship bracelets from one of the patients we helped that she had her picture in it, and it was an orange bracelet with the ribbon on it that says it's okay to be scared and to keep fighting. And so just seeing that and seeing how, on the notes, how we've brought joy, and, at the holidays, being able to help them keep their lights on, keep food at the table. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's one of those things, every day you wake up, you're like, I'm so grateful that we're able to do this.
And speaking of bracelets, you
Yes.
brought one with you?
I did. So this, so we mentioned Buddy the bear, but a new program that we're kicking off is our Leukemia Texas Buddies. And so what that is kind of like a membership program, but it's ways that we can further engage with supporters and donors, and throughout the year, engage them in kind of exclusive opportunities to meet with researchers, to learn about what they're doing for blood cancers, past grants that we've funded, to be able to attend special events, to attend volunteer opportunities once we can get back out in the world, to partner with Cook Children's or MD Anderson and the other hospitals we partner with. And so it's we like to say all the cool kids are doing it. So that'll be kicking off this month. And so I know everybody's going to want to join. It's what all the cool people are doing.
Okay, we only have about a minute left. Your camera is there on the right. What would you like to say to the person who's watching this and is touched by your message and wants to get involved?
You know, every single dollar counts. It doesn't matter whether it's $25 for Buddy, whether it's $50 to join the Buddies program, whatever it is, anything counts, because every single dollar goes to bringing hope to those families that are in their journey. You can visit our website, it's www.leukemiatexas.org, or if you just love doing events, we're actually be partnering with the Rough Riders on Sunday for their Strikeout Cancer game. We'll be there adopting out Buddies and selling Buddy's little brother for people who want their own Buddy on that. And then just raising awareness that, you know, while everything might be returning to normal, it's not for a lot of people. And so we want to be there to help it.
Outstanding. Jessica, you've been an amazing guest. We're going to end with the website so everybody can get in touch. Leukemiatexas.org is the website. Jessica Dunn, Executive Director. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.